Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larry Cox, and I'm seeking election to the Rockdale County Board of Education, Post 2. And after the two senatorial candidates spoke, I had this prepared statement, but I don't think there's any need because they said there was no use for me to run. But in lieu of that, I'll go ahead and make the statement anyway. I'm seeking election to the Rockdale County Board of Education because I want to make a positive difference in the lives of each and every child in Rockdale County. I want to do that by assuring that they have access to a quality education. As a member of the board members are responsible for the hiring and firing of the school board. For the school superintendent. They are responsible for approving the budget and they are responsible for approving the curriculum. As a member of your board, I will make sure that our school superintendent will be the best person that will be able to run the day-to-day operations of our school, as well as have a clear vision for the future of education in Rockdale County. I will also fight to make sure we pass a budget that is sound and it makes sense. I will also work hard to make sure that the curriculum that we offer our students is a curriculum that they can use today, but also a curriculum that will prepare them for the future. I believe that as members of the board, we should be accessible and available to our constituents. And one of the main things that we could do is actually show up to meetings like this so you could meet us, even if we're not elected yet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just ask, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen at the back, we can hear you up here while the candidate's trying to answer questions. Could we ask you maybe to move into the hallway?
Yes, we apologize.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Mr. Cox, what are the 3 top issues concerning the school district that you believe deserve the most focus?
You know, I've talked to a lot of people as I ran for the school board. And I'm going to tell you what their concerns are. The first concern that I hear of the people who would be my constituency are the safety of their children while they're attending our public schools. They are really concerned, and not from outsiders coming in. They are concerned about student-on-student violence. So the first thing we need to do is we need to identify why are we having these problems and what can we do to curtail it. I'm a person who believes in no nonsense. If you can't get along, then maybe we need to do something else. Maybe there need to be an alternative education if you are continuously disrupting the school process. Also, budget. You know, you guys mentioned about the taxes and Rockdale being one of the counties that are above. You know, we need to, as members of the board, find creative ways to maintain the educational system here in Rockdale County, but do it within our means. I am the vice president of a highway construction company, and when I bid a job, and then when I build the job, I can't go somewhere else and ask for money. I've got a set amount of money to build that project. And if I don't build it within those means, then you know what? I lose money and my business goes out of business. So we have to be accountable to our students. And then there's the curriculum. I think we need to think out of the box a little bit. And we heard our candidate before that spoke about, you know, when he was in school, you could go somewhere and learn a trade. Well, I've tried to propose to the Rockdale Career Academy a couple of different times a plan that I have about a concrete cutting program. I am in the concrete cutting business, and someone who would come out of high school and would be able to do that would be able to make $40,000 a year starting off. And when they got good at it, they can make $75,000 or $80,000 a year. And that's an industry that people don't know about. We don't think outside the box.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. You mentioned the millage rate, and this question again is related to that millage rate. Rockdale County, as you know, is one of just a handful of counties in the state that can exceed the maximum levy for school taxes. Currently, that millage rate is 25.32 mil. That is 5.32 above the state maximum. This is due to a referendum in 1965 where 367 people voted to approve this referendum that allows the Rockdale County Public School to tax up to 30 mills. We're not done yet. They can go all the way to 30. There are two bodies in the state that can offer a referendum to the voters of this county on this issue: the Georgia General Assembly and the local Board of Education. Would you, as a member of the Board of Education, support bringing a referendum to the voters that would allow them to choose whether or not they would like to continue levying taxes at a higher rate than other districts in the state?
As someone who believes in the rights of people, okay, let me just tell you, first of all, if I'm elected, I will not be elected as a mandate, because a lot of candidates are elected and they say, well, I have a mandate. No, you're elected to serve at the will of the people, and you are to serve the people as what they want. Your answer is yes, I would have to offer a referendum to do that, because I believe that people have the right to decide their own fate. Local government needs to have control, and the people need to have control of their local government.
Thank you.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
what do you believe local control to mean in light of all the mandates, grant compliances, and regulations coming from the federal government and the state?
That's tricky. Well, it's not really tricky. You know what it really comes down to? If you don't take the money, you don't got to do what they say. So, but if you take the money, you've got to accept the mandates. That's basically what it is. If we don't want the federal government to control us, or do we don't want the state government to implement their will on us, then we have to be able to fund it ourselves, live within our budget, and do it. If we're willing to accept that as a community, then that's what we do. But as a community, if we can't accept it, then we'll decide as a community that we want to accept mandates. So things like this should be on the ballot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
One more question,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cox. What brought you to run for this position?
What brought me to run for this position? I had 3 daughters that graduated from Heritage High School. And, you know, if you are a parent and you navigate your children through the public school system, and that's what I define it as, you navigate your children through the public school system. I firmly believe in the public school system, because I believe at the local level, when we make decisions, that we can make a difference. One of the reasons that I decided to run for the local school board is because I was told I couldn't make a difference. I was told, just like the senatorial candidates, which I love for conversation. You know what? If I can't make a difference, I'm going to tell you why I can't make a difference. I'm going to let you know, this is the reason I can't make a difference. Because these 3 people on the board won't agree to let us do these things. These people on the board are shoving their agenda down our throat. The school superintendent may think that he's the one that's in charge and doesn't recognize that he is employed at the will of the school board. That's why I ran.
Thank you. 2 minutes closing statement.
First, I would just like to thank the Rockdale County Republican Party for inviting me here today. And then I would like to let you all know one thing. I'm running in a nonpartisan race. But if I would have been required to run on a party ticket, I would have ran as a Republican.
Thank you.
Also, I want you to know that I could have done a lot of other things today, like a lot of other candidates. And I've seen a lot of other candidates that are running for these 3 posts that have challenges. I've seen them today, but they've decided not to come here and speak to you and let the electorate hear what you have to say. I believe that I know that if I'm elected, I will be accessible, I will be available. If I give you my phone number and I say to call me, I will answer the telephone. If I give you my email address and you email me, I will email you back. I also have a campaign website. If elected, I intend to transition that website into a website that will inform you of what I'm doing on the school board and important issues. Accessibility and availability are key issues with any public office. And as your member of the school board, you will have access to me 24/7. I thank you for your time, but most importantly, I thank you for your vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.